And we're all, because of the coronavirus, we're all taking precautions. But there's one precaution I really haven't figured out yet. I'm not sure that I ever will. And this is it. Why is there such a run on this? Excuse the pun. With all this interest in toilet paper and people hoarding it and stuff, I don't know, for some reason I thought maybe I'd find out a little bit of history behind it and see what all the interest in it is. Maybe it's pertinent, maybe it's not. Do you know what its history is? Well, you are about to find out. Toilet paper is actually a Chinese invention. They invented wrapping and padding material in 2nd century BC. And there's really a great deal of evidence that the first documented use of paper as a personal hygiene product dates back to the 6th century medieval China, when its emperor began using 2-foot by 3-foot sheets for his personal hygiene. And they originally made toilet paper with bamboo, and then they mixed it with cotton linen rags soaked in water. Then they'd smash that material with wood. And that's how they made paper. A guy by the name of, and I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, Yan Yehuti, is a Chinese scholar from 531 to 591 AD. He wrote about its use. And then around 851 AD, an Arab traveler to China remarked about the use of toilet paper. And he wrote this, something like this. They, the Chinese, don't wash themselves with water when they have done their necessities, but they only wipe themselves with paper. But historically, the first modern toilet paper was made in 1391 when it was created for the needs of the Chinese emperor family. Each sheet of toilet paper was even perfumed. But it wasn't until the late 15th century that paper became readily available. And that led to the printing of newspapers, and that eventually led to the use of newspapers as a means of personal hygiene. And after centuries of using water, rags, sticks, sand, leaves, corn cobs, animal furs, and other things, an American inventor, Joseph Gayeti, in 1851, came up with commercial toilet paper. Until then, only one country in the world, China, had access to toilet paper as we know it today. Gayeti's idea started the widespread use of this personal hygiene as a toilet accessory. And by the way, he claimed his sheets prevented hemorrhoids. He was so proud of that fact that he printed his name on each sheet. While I was researching the history behind toilet paper, I discovered that several people actually, took the time to do some toilet paper math. And it works out kind of like this. Actually, this part of the research kind of made my mind a little messy, and I kind of thought about flushing this whole idea of this blog away. But I didn't. So here's some toilet paper math. One source states that it takes about 384 trees to make the toilet paper that one man uses during his lifetime. The average person uses 100 rolls of toilet paper per year. That's over 20,000 sheets. The daily production of toilet paper is about 83,048,116 rolls per day. There's another source from Charmin Company that showed that the average American citizen uses approximately, and I don't know how they figured this out, but uses approximately 57 sheets of toilet paper per day. Okay, here's some outstanding figures behind that. Those 57 sheets, Charmin says, works out to 399 sheets per week, 1,996 sheets per month, 19,152 sheets per year, and 1,532,160 sheets total. That's if you live to be 100. If you live to be 80 years old. Charmin also says, through their research, that an average household will flush away nearly 80,000 sheets per year. And that doesn't even include the paper that's used for other purposes, such as blowing noses, cleaning spectacles, and other stuff like that. There is something called World Toilet Paper Day. And one year, Charmin made a roll of toilet paper measuring 8 feet high, and it had a diameter of the roll of more than 9 feet. It was the largest roll ever made. And if the math wasn't enough for you, here's some toilet paper trivia. Believe it or not, there is toilet paper on the International Space Station. There is, or was, colored toilet paper in the Louvre in their fancy toilets. And we know, my wife and I made a visit there once to France, to the Louvre. And while we were there, of course, we saw things like the Mona Lisa, the Venus de Milo, and much more. And a wall of neon-colored toilet paper. I hear, though, because of excessive cost and the fact that many consider the dye in the paper to be harmful to skin, that it may not exist, that wall. But I could be wrong. We have not been back to check that out. Another trivia fact. About 75% of the world's population does not use toilet paper because it's too expensive and they don't have the necessary plumbing. The first splinter-free roll of toilet paper wasn't manufactured until 1935. And this one might be a bit disturbing. The Pentagon, on average, uses 666 rolls of toilet paper every day. Okay, and this trivia fact, is kind of relevant to today's situation. In 1973, a joke was made by a late-night comedian. He referred to the fact, or in his joke, he said that toilet paper was in short supply. So everyone ran out to buy as many rolls as they could. Store shelves got emptied of that product. That comedian's name? Johnny Carson. 7% of Americans admit to stealing rolls of the stuff from hotels. Are you one of them? Japanese horror novelist Suzuki, he wrote an entire novel on a roll of toilet paper. And finally, there are many more, but I'm going to end it with this. When a survey of people were asked what they'd bring if stranded on a desert island, 49% of them said toilet paper ahead of food. Perhaps you'll think about all of this stuff the next time you use toilet paper, or maybe your preference will be to wipe your memory away and clean it of all this information. So, now you know, if you care, some necessary or unnecessary things about toilet paper. Doesn't answer though the hoarding, but at least I found out some stuff. So see you the next time.